And I'm live. Hello, everyone. This is Eric from Etacude. This is my first time using the webcam, so we'll see how it works. In the past, I've used my phone. I'm also using the shotgun mic to record. So, if anybody is out there, please let me know if the sound's okay and if you can see me clearly. Hello to whoever's out there. So yeah, don't laugh about my hair. I know it looks very flat. It's because I've been wearing a cap the whole day. I should get used to looking over there. Yeah, this is my first time using my computer. In the past, I've streamed from my phone. And even though I think the quality is really good, it doesn't allow me to work well, to talk and to answer things in chat and to check out the chat. And sometimes there are also issues with sound. So hopefully the sound works now. Well, if anybody is out there, who's out there? Let me know if anybody's there. Let me know if the sound's okay. Yeah, today, what have I been doing recently? Like always, I'm doing something. I think I'm busy, but I could actually be more efficient in using my time. Today, I went to a coffee shop and I worked a little bit. I worked on a presentation I have to do for a seminar. Hi, everyone. If you're there, say hi. And if you have a question, let me know if the sound is okay. And like I said before, no laughing about my flat hair. I'm using my laptop for the first time to stream. I don't know how the video quality is from where I can see where you are. I usually use my phone. Young, hi. Is the sound okay? Is my hair flat? I'm using the shotgun mic and I'm using my laptop for the first time. Hi, Mom. Load shedding again. So those of you who don't know, load shedding in South Africa is where certain parts of the country don't have electricity. It's really bad. I was just watching a documentary on how bad things are in South Africa when it comes to municipalities and the government and corruption. It's really bad. So here where I am in Korea, I don't have any issues with electricity. So yeah, that's one of the things. Everything's fine except my hair. Yeah, no, I think actually I've been thinking I'm constantly wearing the same clothes and the same style. Maybe I need to change a little bit, maybe go and buy some new shoes and pants and stuff. Okay, before we start, I want to tell you what today's live stream is going to be about. Today's live stream is, I'm going to answer two questions. The first question comes from Samara, and she asks, how can we get the students' attention in class? And the second question we've got is from Roya. Hi, Roya. The second question we have is how to create a curriculum. She told me her story. I'll read you the story, what her problems are, and then I'll discuss it. And if you have any questions, if you have any input, please add it in the stream and I can read it, because it's always nice to know what you think about it. Actually, it's funny. The last week or so, I've been getting a lot of traction. I've been getting a lot of views for my Valentine's Day episode. So I've gotten a lot more subscribers. And so today, and I was a bit late making a new video. Soul, there's your name. I am last week, Soul. So we said goodbye to you, and I thought I could go through the live chat and write down your name, because I only remembered Soul. But then the live stream didn't work, so I couldn't add you. So now I finally got you. I'm so happy. How are you doing, Soul? Okay, I've got your name now. Afterwards, I can quickly add you. Actually, I can do it now, but I should focus on talking. Yeah. So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So it's been growing a lot, and I was late with my recent video, the flashcard videos. If you haven't watched it, watch it after the live stream. And today, I was planning on releasing it on Wednesday, but then I said, oh, why not just release it today? And I released it today, but I was supposed to do other work, but it's out. The reason that I don't like releasing videos on the same day is because of the YouTube algorithm. Basically, how it works is you can bring out videos, but YouTube will only promote one of your videos every 3 days, or two or every 3 days. So if you have two videos at the same time, hi Danny, good to see you again. I heard that Rick is back. I might go and visit him in a little bit. It's one of our co-workers. Yeah, so I released a video today and I'm doing the live stream tonight. So yeah, it's not the best thing, but yeah, just putting out videos. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I feel I'm working with a new editing program, which I'm not familiar with, so the editing isn't great. Hi guys. Oh, thanks, Sol. I can't wait to get on and like some of your videos too. I want to see what content you're making. Okay, now let's get into the questions. If you have any questions, put them down in the live stream and I'll get to these videos, get to these questions because I think these are such important questions. So the first one comes from Samara. I hope I'm saying it right, Samara. She says that she has trouble getting the class's attention. Now you have to think, if you have a teacher that is in control of the class and the students immediately, when she says, okay, everyone listen to me, and they immediately look to her, what is the difference between someone like that and someone who's in class saying, hi kids, everyone, look at me, can I get your attention, Jimmy, Nadia? What is the difference between those people? Obviously, the person that can get their attention quicker has more authority in the class. So before I talk about some techniques that you can do, I want you to start thinking about how much authority do you have in your class. If you're a new teacher, you're not that confident yet, obviously the authority that you have is going to be less. But it's something that you're going to have to work on. It's something all of us can work on and improve. So I want you to start thinking, you know, how can I become that confident, self-assured teacher with that aura of authority in the classroom? Start imagining yourself as that person 5 years, 10 years from now, right? If you have more experience, what would that be like? Roya, hi, how are you today? I'm quickly answering the first question of Samara, how to get the class's attention, and then we're going to get to your question. Okay, now Samara, so what you want to do is you want to start imagining yourself in 5 or 10 years. What is that person like? You've got all that experience, you're more confident, you know what to do. And start, you know, fake it till you make it. Start faking it till you are that person. When you go in class, start imagining, I am a strong person. I'm the leader in this class. When I talk to the students, they will look at me. I'm great. I've just been busy recently doing working on a presentation and working on videos. Yeah, but otherwise it's okay. Okay, so first of all, you have to have the right mindset when you want to get the students' attention. You are the center of attention. You are their world, so they have to listen to you. Just have that mindset, and you will start seeing that you're going to do things differently. Your body language will also change, and students will look at that. What can I do with spoiled students? Spoiled students. Well, you're going to have to manipulate them. But Roya, spoiled students, so their parents spoiled them? Okay, everybody needs something. You know, students that come into your class, they're looking for something. They're looking, what can you provide them? What value do you bring to the class? Can it be that, you know, you give them information? It doesn't mean that you give them a safe space where they feel valued. Doesn't mean that your classes are fun and interesting. Doesn't mean that the activities that you do, it allows them to work with their friends. So I should edit my video, this video or the other video, Sol. So Roya, with spoiled kids, you have to start climbing and getting into their minds. So these kids already have everything. They've got lots of money. They get lots of attention. What do they need? They need balance. They want someone who's going to be their rock, going to be, okay, your parents might let you get away with things, but in my class, my rules should be that way. Oh, thank you, Rabia. They are fighting together. I mean, kids class. The kids are fighting with each other. They're spoiled kids. Oh, Roya. Rabia, thank you so much. I'm actually, you know, I feel like while I'm saying this, I've got all these things going on in my head. So sometimes I'm a bit unorganized. But recently I've been working on a series of 100 videos that I'm planning to shoot just on classroom situations that I think will help a lot. Kids that fight together in class, you're going to have to pull them apart and talk with them. Every day you see that class, give them a speech, give them a sermon. This should be, if they are out of control and they are spoiled and they're fighting with each other, you've got to be on their case. Every day before class starts, you're going to tell them, give them a speech. Listen, kids, this area is for learning. We're going to learn and we're going to work hard. So I finally got your name. I'm going to add you in a little bit. Thanks so much for dropping by. Have a good day. So Roya, you're going to have to be on their case. You're going to have to tell them, listen, before you start class, give them a sermon. Tell them this is a place for learning. I am the teacher. I don't want you fighting. Every day, constantly remind them. You've got to be on their case. When they leave your class in a couple of weeks, that speech should be running in the back of their heads, right? Oh, you've already done it. Yeah, and then and you've taken them apart and you've spoken to them. I think the last case scenario is obviously calling parents to talk to the parents and finding out what's wrong. But for me, that's something I'd rather settle it on my own. And well, ask the students, you know, if you call them in and you say, why are you fighting? Start letting them write stuff out. Say, okay, guys, how can you be better behaved in class? Write it down, you know, start giving them punishments. Go old school. Okay, Samara, if you're watching this, I'm getting back to your question now. I'm just answering this question in between. See you as a preacher. Doesn't matter. You know, if we look, so Rabia just said, but then the students see you as a preacher rather than a teacher with the fighting kids. There are so many similarities between people, between a preacher and a teacher. You know, both of them have a message. Both of them try and teach something. Both of them come from a position of authority. Man, I think that the main thing is, you know, I think we as teachers, if we do have those problem situations, we feel it drains us, right? It makes us feel, oh, I'm constantly fighting with these kids. But you've got to start to take that as a second nature, saying, this is part of who I am. I'm going to fix this till it's right. If they want to continue with this, I will continue preaching. I will continue lecturing them. So yeah, definitely do that. I know it's tough. Roya, I've been in that position with kids that they just want to fight and they don't want to play. We've got to take a look first at ourselves. How can we improve? Can we improve our techniques? Can we make the activities more fun? Can we make them more engaged in the activities? And then the second part is, you know, how can we as a human being, as a leader, improve and start controlling these kids, you know, in the classroom, being more confident and more self-assured, knowing what to do. But yeah, you've just got to start, go into class, hope for the best, but start getting on their case every single time. Eventually, they're going to break, or you just shouldn't break at all. Oh, my dad just did 7 classes in a row. My dad works online. He teaches English online with a lot of students in China, but he's working non-stop. Hi, Dad. Yeah. Okay. Roya, Rabia, continue adding things. I'm quickly finishing Samaras. Even in activation, they get into trouble. Yeah, going to have to separate those kids. I don't know what, so it depends what your school's policy is. Obviously, your principal and those teachers need to have a policy of if these kids keep escalating, obviously there should be rules and punishments there, and as their teacher, you want them to behave in a certain way, and you're trying your best to talk to them, to reason with them. How old are they, by the way, Roya? I'm guessing 10 to 13. Yeah. Okay. Samara said how to get the class's attention. So Samara, I said, number one, you should be more confident in class. You should be the center of attention. You should start imagining yourself as the most competent center of attention in that classroom. In an institute. Oh yeah, okay. So you work at in an institute where it's more difficult because the kids are actually the clients. Yeah, it's not like it's a school where the kids can be expelled. Yeah, 10 to 14. Yeah, and you know what? First of all, you need to control your classroom. And after that, if the rest of the teachers can also get on board with it. Okay, back to Samara's question. Let me quickly finish. How to get the class's attention, be the best teacher you can be, and then some techniques. You want to start training your students to quiet down at a certain time. You want to train it from the very first class, and then subsequently train it into them, especially with younger students. There are a couple of fun ways. I'm listening to an audiobook, one of the most famous teaching books that there are, and it's by Harry Wong. It's called The First Days of School. And he's got a very interesting way to get the students' attention. He calls it the Give Me Five. And he says, eyes, number one, eyes look. So he expects the eyes look. Ears listen, mouth closed, hands still, feet quiet. So as he says this, he counts down from 5, and the students start counting with him. And every time it's like, eyes look. The kids have to look. They look up. Ears listen, mouth closed, hands still, feet quiet. And once he that's a countdown you can do. Most of these techniques have countdowns. That's the one he used. I was talking with another teacher before. They have 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, and then all the kids look up. I've seen another interesting. What I sometimes do is I do Simon Says, or I count down 3, 2, 1, and stop. That's what I like. Simon Says, start playing Simon Says. Simon Says, touch your head. Simon Says. So have a game they can play to get their attention. You can start whispering instructions so that they get curious and they look up to see what you're doing. Another interesting one I saw is the water and ice technique, where you say water, and then the kids have to act like water, like flowing water. And then you're ice, and when they're ice, they're frozen, and they have to look at you. That's an interesting one I saw. Oh, okay, so you've got yours too. Yeah, no, we need a sign. You need something. Some teachers use bells or something. Some teachers just, if you stand in a certain area in class, in the middle of class, and you raise your hand, that's a sign for them to be quiet. And you have to start, training them. It's not teaching, it's training. I'm trying this. Clap 3 times while count. So 3, 2, 1, and I can see that working. Hocus pocus, everybody focus. I like that. Yeah, there's lots of techniques, but it's and I've seen claps too. There are lots of techniques to do. There are lots of fun things, but you've got to train your students, and you've got to have that mindset of, I am the most important person in this class, and if they want to improve their lives, they're going to want to look at me. I expect them to look at me. I think these days a lot of teachers, we're not used to being in the limelight, especially when we first start teaching. We're not used to getting all that attention. So now suddenly we're supposed to be leaders in the classroom, and it's very difficult to get used to it. But the sooner you start making that change of, I am authority, I'm the one in control, they will listen to me, things will be better, things will be easier. I think the best teachers in the world, the ones with experience, they have that certain self-confidence of they know exactly what to do. And yeah, you can get it through years and years of experience, or you can start learning from other teachers and develop so much faster. Okay, guys, any questions, put them down below. You see how I answer them. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm streaming from my laptop this time. Yeah, so these days I'm very busy. I'm working on a presentation for a company for online seminars. So I haven't done big seminars ever. So it'll be, I've done teacher training, but I've never done big seminars. So I'm very excited for this, but it means that I'm going to have to plan the presentation and then do it. So very excited. And then other than that, yeah, just normal videos and working on that series I've been telling you about. Now, the big question. Let me take a sip of water and we'll get to Rabia's question. Okay, so I took a screenshot of your question just so that everybody knows what's going on and what we're going to talk about. Here we go. Okay, so how do you get them to be interested in English? They're still young. Yeah, so I'm going to answer that in my question. Hi, Roya. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. It's so nice, you guys giving questions and answering. Yeah, we live stream. I live stream once a week, every Sunday this time. So every week this time. I'm not sure if it works out for you guys, but for me, at 10 o'clock on a Sunday, I know I'll be home in most cases, so I don't have to worry I'm somewhere else. And it's also okay for people in Saudi Arabia. It's perhaps 1 or 2 p.m. there now. Rabia. So actually, Rabia works in Saudi Arabia, and she sent this message. I could really use some help. I teach ESL for Arabs, primary school. This is actually my first time teaching. The management wants me to focus only on speaking skills and ask me to design a curriculum. That is so unfair. This is maybe the worst case scenario where a young teacher, a new teacher. Okay, Roya, you're welcome to join anytime. Roya, where are you from? Your name sounds Bushra. I haven't seen you in a while. We're still talking classroom management. How have you been? So yeah, this is very unfair towards Rabia. Rabia is a very new teacher, and they expect her to create a curriculum and only to focus mainly on speaking skills, right? And so you've got a plan for 3 different classes of very young students. You've suddenly got to build a curriculum, and it would have been easy if it were small classes and the students were nice, but she says that the girls and the boys are split. Iran. Okay, nice. Jubair Ahmed, nice, welcome. Where are you from? Are you also a teacher? We're just talking about Rabia's problem. So she's got to build a curriculum. They want her to speak by playing games and watching animations, and that has to be the motto. She teaches both boys and girls, but they're split, they're separated. The girls' class is good. Obviously, the girls are always very nice. And then the boys, they're loud and they have no interest in English. How do I approach my first class? How should I design a curriculum focused on activities only? Okay, now so this is the first part of the question. Originally I thought, okay, so this is all about designing a curriculum based on ESL. Oh, yeah, Roya, I've got an Instagram page. It's linked in my videos, or you can just type in Eric Wesch, W-E-S-C-H, Eric, and then Wesch. It's linked in my maybe in my description or in the in some of my other videos description. Yeah, add me on that and I'll add you back. Okay, so Rabia, at first, this is very difficult because now you've got to build something on that, and it should just focus on speaking. Okay, here's what you have to do. First things first. Oh, by the way, you'll notice something very interesting. I'm going to give you a lot of the ideas that I have, and some thoughts that I have. But you will notice while I'm talking and while you're listening, you'll start coming up with ideas too. Because the best things happen in conversation. So yeah, I'm going to talk about this, Rabia, and whoever's listening. Take the ideas, and I want you to start also, if you get any good ideas that you feel you can use in your class, start writing it down, because this is definitely a conversation that we're having. Okay, Ahmed, I'm from Bangladesh, also a teacher, just started your teaching. Thanks a lot. Actually, you know what, guys, and I bring this up every time. I've got some amazing videos, especially for new teachers, that I'll bring out. Recently, I've been focusing on activity videos, but I really want to do more videos on helping younger teachers and new teachers take control of the class. So I'm sorry that you have to wait. I feel so guilty that I haven't brought it out yet, but you're going to have to wait a little bit, but I can't wait to share that. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please ask, because I'll try to do it. School has a luck. Oh, that's bad. So, Rabia, they didn't have a choice. They hired me purely for my credits from Cambridge and your accent. Okay. Okay. So basically, you've got a lot of responsibility. That they're putting all this pressure on you. You're supposed to build a curriculum, and you're supposed to take control and get these kids excited about the language. You're going to grow up very quickly. I'm very excited. You've got to start thinking, if I make it through this year, if I make it through 2 years, I'm going to have the experience. If you do a good job, you build that curriculum and you start getting in control of classroom management, you're going to be on level with someone who's been teaching for 10 years if you can make it 2 years. So first of all, I want to say that the next few months, if you can enjoy that, if it's going to be tough, but if you can enjoy it and just push through it and do your best, you're going to grow so much. And I'm very excited to see that. So just think about that. This difficult time is temporary, but you're going to grow so much. Now, back to the curriculum. You've got other questions too, but let's focus on the curriculum. So, number one, you've got to simplify everything. Sometimes as teachers, we've got all these ideas of interesting activities and things that we want to do. Don't do that. Have a basic plan together. Your basic plan, so if you have something that you can do every week with them, that an activity or something that's very easy, like for example, reading a book, or an activity like a small talking activity that you can do every week, that's going to take a lot of pressure off of you. And what I want you to do is, first, when you make your curriculum, let's say focus on 10 topics, and what 10 topics you can do. All those topics: health, clothes, emotions, or food, all these normal topics. Pick a topic out of all of that. Then you're going to break down your classes. I don't know, how long are your classes? 50 minutes, I'm guessing. So if your class is 50 minutes long, you're going to split it into different parts. Let me get that. I've got a marker somewhere. Okay, I'll just talk and say it. I should be better prepared. So first, let's say make a curriculum of 10. Thank you, Roya. I hope to see you soon. Have a good day. So make a curriculum, take 10 topics, simple things that they want to talk about: sports, food, easy things that they can use. Make it real to them. The main thing about teaching is, they throw around that term student-centered. For ESL teachers, it should be even more student-centered. You've got freedom now. You can look at any hobbies they have. Sports, you can talk about, okay, well, what sports do you play? What hobbies do you have? Just go through these basic things. Food, talk about their food, their experiences. Really focus on the students so that they feel, oh, these topics are these topics are relevant to me. I can actually use this in my real life, and it makes me think about it. So really go take these 10 topics that you can think of. You can get them, if you can, just go out and get any, any book from anywhere. They've got, teaching. Just go and get an ESL book, because they haven't given you any resources. Buy any type of ESL book. Nice. Yeah. So take pressure off of yourself. That's the main thing, Rabia. Just make it easy for yourself. So pick 10 topics. Then in your classes, it's what, 40 minutes long, even better. First 10 minutes, some kind of warm-up activity. Let's say we have a topic, it's sport, right? So let's say sport warm-up activity. You can show them a video and say, okay, guys, write down all the words that you see in this video, and you can have like one of those dude perfect videos where they do like fun activities. Write down all the words you see, or try and memorize it, and then you go through the class. You put them into 2 teams. This team, how many do you have? What words do you have? What words do you have? Just do something fun, right, for them to get the vocabulary. Then you get into teaching mode. You're going to say, okay, well, here's some expressions that you can use. Let's say you're doing future tense. You're going to say, okay, well, let's talk about make a conversation with a partner. Or, well, first you're going to talk about sports. And then after that, man, I really need to write this down. I'm going to quickly write it on here. So usually if you have a lesson, don't have long times. Break it down into blocks. You're going to start with first, you've got your warm-up. Don't laugh at you've got your warm-up. That's going to be 10 minutes. Then you're going to do some actual teaching. So you do the warm-up. You say, okay, everyone, take a seat. Now it's my turn. And you start and do your teaching. It could be grammar. It could be the topic. Whatever you want to teach them. It should be another 10 minutes of you talking with the class, right? Then you're going to give them an activity to do about it. It could be something to read that you found. What I like to do with my students is I usually let them do some kind of dialogue, and that's going to be some kind of activity related to what you just taught, right? Some activity, especially if it's a group activity or pair activity, they do that. And after they do the activity, ask some of the groups to actually show you how it's done. So if you let the students do a dialogue, say, okay, boys, rock, scissors, paper. Okay, this team, quickly do so then you take up time for that. And then here is the presentation where they presentation. Now, this is just an idea. This is where they present and show how they're doing it, how to talk about it. So let's say this activity is a dialogue. Here, not all the teams, but some of the teams can play. And then finally, you end with another game or review. And the game or review, it could, if you have a fun video series that they enjoy, it could be Mr. Bean. Or if you have a book that you can read to them. Or if there's some game, a card game that they enjoy playing. Or if you want to do some fun review activity that you think they will enjoy, you're going to finish that and you're going to send them out. And this is the best structure for lessons. So your warm-up, they come into class, you say, hello guys, today we're going to talk about sport. Remember, in this class, we respect our friends, we don't run around, and we are going to learn English. And so you give them the speech first. No more running around, no fighting, no throwing bottles. We sit down, we're going to have a fun class. Does everybody understand? Good? Okay. Then you do the fun warm-up, and then if they get used to this, doing this fun warm-up, let them play the game or something. Like I said before, some kind of warm-up game. There's lots of ideas. I just made up that one about the video. After that, so they're excited. They come into the class. They're going to be like, oh, it's so much fun. The second part, this is your teaching part. This is where you're going to tell them and teach them. You're going to write on the board. You want them sitting down and relaxing. So this one we call, it gets them excited. This one calms them down. Then they do the activity with their friend or their group, some kind of friend or group activity. It can always be a dialogue or writing something down. It can be a group project. With these ESL classes, you want to make it collaborative. You want them to feel like, oh, I'm not just practicing on my own. Should you review the rules in? Yes. Yeah. Well, you can do it twice a class if you want to. The thing is, it's so tough when you're doing it for the first time, because you feel like, oh, I'm just preaching to them every time. You do what it takes, and you tell them every class, okay, everyone, remember the rules. Even before the activity again, guys, remember the rules, okay? And try not to shout and get angry. Remember, you're just telling them the rules, and then during the class, if someone is loud, go to them and say, okay, Jimmy, remember the rules, okay? Yeah, you remember? Okay. And so just constantly remind them. And if students are bad, just say, guys, remember the rules. And if they continue, okay, can I talk to you after class? And then they come to you, you tell them again, listen, guys, this isn't working. Eventually, you'll tire them out. They'll be like, oh, ma'am's always giving us rules and it's getting so difficult. I just want to do everything and finish this class, right? Then you do the activity with their friends. It should be fun. It should be collaborative. It can be a dialogue with a partner, but they have to use their own experience. They have to make something. Have you ever been in a class where it feels like, oh, I just have to copy everything? You're not really learning. You need to apply what the teacher has just taught you. So you need some kind of activity, some project to work on. Yeah, shouting should be kept to a minimum. So don't worry about that. Shouting should only be used for, desperate situations. So yeah, but yeah, so don't worry too much about shouting. Then you do the activity, they do it. And when it's done, you should get better at your time control. Then it's okay, presentation time, guys. Pick some groups to do a presentation, talk about, and then this review activity that you have can always be some kind of they review what they just learned, or they do some kind of fun activity. You watch a video. If you can find some video series that's very fun for them to watch, that they enjoy, do it. If you've got internet and you've got a board, or you can download it, if you've got a book part that they can read that they enjoy, find something that they like. Even if it's playing card games, if you can get some, I've got, let me show you. Do I have it here? I think it's over here. Let me quickly show you. Oh. Not the white. Okay, this is my go-to actually. I've got, well, that's a bad one to start with. I've got a card with just hundreds of pictures like this, right? And I give it to the students, and I've got so many games, ideas that I've worked out that I play with them. And if I'm ever stuck, if I've got 10 minutes that I need to kill, I just take out some cards. So I don't know. I'm still thinking about if I should make a stack like that you can download and print out. Yeah, I still need to do that, but that's going to take some time. But what I'm saying is, have something that they enjoy that you can do in every class, if that makes sense. Okay, is everybody okay? Everybody still following along? Okay, so she also had some other issues. She says, first of all, thank you so much. Your help means lots. I'm just talking about things. I hope you get some ideas. Um, uh, the management hasn't provided any resources. Have access to storybooks and a projector. I've been allotted a small budget to buy books, games, presents, and I can also request other equipment. Right. So what I would say is I love using cards. That's my go-to. I would also suggest that you start getting some ESL books. Many of these books are digital and they've got games that you can project onto the screen. So you've got a projector, you've got a computer. There are lots of games that you can make. I'm not an expert at making the games. Sometimes I steal some that I find online. That I find online. But I'm sure that some of these books have online content and games that you can use. So I would look into that. So she teaches first, second, and third grade. Here's the beautiful thing. Because they're so close, you can almost, if you can use, you can almost use the same lesson for each group, and you just modify it to be a little bit more advanced. Because you're just starting now, don't worry about making really good different things. Start taking the same lessons and just modifying it so that you step into class and Nazar, how you doing? Good to see you. How are you doing? We're just talking about Rabia's classes, and I suggested to her to make one lesson for the week. It's going to get boring doing the same lesson again, but as a new teacher, I would take boring and used to every lesson way more than trying to make a lesson plan for every single class. So that's what I'm going to suggest to you. Start big, take 10 topics, find some ESL books, find 10 topics, then, like I wrote it down here, figure out 5 activities that you can do. The first one is some kind of warm-up related to it. It's also then something you explain. It could be grammar. And then 3, some activity where they actually do some work. And they don't know how to use words and sentences. Yeah, so what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to do group work then. Put them into groups, let them work together, give them time to do these projects together. So you can say, okay, well, you can do surveys too. If students are very low level, give them questions. For example, let's say you do a survey about sports and you give them 5 questions. What is your favorite sports? Who's your favorite player? What is the best sport in the world? If you could play any sport, what would it be? So make 5 questions and then they walk around. You actually give them the questions that they can read, if they can read, and then they can ask their friends this. So just break it down. The kids can still talk about their experience, but you're just giving them things to make it easy. So even in my classes, I've got students that they can read English well, but their speaking is horrible. And then I've got students that can speak really well. And most of the things, because I give them the basics, they can use it together. Weekly lesson plans. Okay. Well, make it basic. Don't have the same format for everything, copy and paste. So make your first lesson, put in the 5 things that you're going to do, copy and paste, and then just write it a little bit differently. And you can switch them around too. Yeah, I think, you are in one of the worst situations that many teachers find themselves in, where they're supposed to plan everything. They don't have a lot of support, and they still have to deal with the students too. But I believe I want you to think about the positives too. You've been given freedom to do what you want to, and you can build something nice. And they basically just want talking and they want games. You don't have to worry about testing, it sounds like. So you don't have to worry about marking. You can just go online, find fun games for them to do. And like I said before, find one thing that they really enjoy that you can do in every single class. Be it some kind of game that they really like, be it a video that they can watch, or be it, you know, a book that you can read with them, because they don't have books, so maybe you can read the book for them. But I would say really focus on the student-centered things, things that they are interested in. You said they like going to the library. Let them talk about what books they're reading, right? Let them do once a month, let them do some kind of talk about a book or something, right? You really want to use their experience to guide your lessons. Okay, and then you said the girls enjoy the speaking, the boys. Yeah, so the boys just structure it well, you know, give them questions, give them group work. Yeah, just I think I've done some speaking activities videos. I've already shot the next video, adult speaking activities, that I'll release maybe in 2 weeks. So yeah, just you've got so much freedom, but you just have to create the base. No testing as such. Okay, so that's why if you can get the students involved, if you can ask them, okay, what hobbies do they have? Talk about their families, so that when they, and at the end of class, this review section, this is a really important part. This is the most important part, the review. Because if you're teaching them about food, they're talking about their food, their favorite food, food that they want to try. You can teach them some foreign foods that are really tasty. And then for the activity, you have some kind of dialogue. Hey, what's your favorite food? My favorite food is. And then they walk around the class in a survey. They ask their friends, what's your favorite food? What food don't you like? These basic words. Then with the review, you're going to say, okay, everyone, what did you learn today? We learned about food, teacher. And then you say, Jimmy, what's your favorite food? I like pizza. Johnny, what food don't you like? I don't like seafood. Then tell them, yeah, go and tell your parents, what did you learn today? You want them to remember all those things they've learned, even if it's just a couple of words, if it's an activity. You want them to go back home, tell their parents, oh, I learned this English plan. You should scaffold and repeat. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Ahmed, throw in that question. I'm happy to help. Dad, teach sentences. You should scaffold and repeat. Yeah. Rabia, a big mistake I made when I first started teaching is I overplanned. I thought, oh, I'm going to make it so specific, and I'm going to make it like that. Okay, Ahmed, I'll answer your question now. I'm actually thinking about that now. So I made it too specific. I want you to scaffold. What does scaffold mean? Scaffold means just give them the basics first and make it a little bit more difficult. So start at the basics. What's your favorite sport? So first you start with sport. Then you give them examples of sport. Favorite. And then you can say, ah, I like pizza. I like soccer. I like music. I like playing computer games. So then they know, and then so you scaffold things and make it easier and easier for them. So that's very important. Don't make it too specific, your lesson plans. Okay, Ahmed. Ahmed asks, I can't make my students study at home. Yeah, Rabia, hardcore planning. No, you know, just take it easy. Take copy and paste, make something easy. Yeah, don't go into detail. You're gonna get burnout. And I'm very worried about you getting burnout. Tell yourself, I'm going to simplify my lessons. I'm going to have basic ideas, 5 easy activities, because if make it as simple as possible for yourself, because then it will be simple for your students too. Okay, so Ahmed, there's actually a big conversation right now about, should we give students homework? Should we force students to study at home? Obviously, if we do work in class and they don't finish it, they have to finish it at home. That's the policy many schools are adopting now. But what you're asking is, you are teaching in class, you've got this thing that they want to learn, and then I like to play with my friends. Yeah, so just scaffolding is what my dad's saying. Make it simple, simplify it, and then from there, always, make it easier for them, especially with ESL first. Make sure that you're going to speak slower, you're going to show them the basics. One of the mistakes I made was I made it too difficult and I wanted to do these advanced classes. No, none of that. Make it easy, simplify. Yeah, so Ahmed, many people think, okay, should we be giving them homework? And many teachers say no, but in some cases you want them to go and study at home. We were talking about it before. What kind of motivation would students have? Obviously, you've got your intrinsic motivation where they feel like, oh, I'm going to improve, and then you've got, the other motivation, where they want to get good points or they want praise from you. So first, we're going to have to motivate them to learn and to study. So we want to motivate them to study. So obviously, first, you're going to have to pick topics that they're interested in, or you're going to have to do the topics that you have to do, but do it in an interesting way. When they go home, they should also know exactly what they have to study. A lot of times students are afraid to start something, but then they're afraid to start something because it's confusing and they don't want to do that. What you can do is you can start studying at school. So let's say you've got your lesson and you say, okay, everyone, this is your homework. Let's do one example, and then everybody does the example together, and you're like, okay, everyone, we just started your homework. Now go finish it at home. Or for homework, I want you to find something in your house that you use every day. Write it down. So make it, the motivation you want to use is make it interesting to them, interesting content or activity. And then also you can make it clear to them by doing some examples in class before they go home. And then also you want to keep them accountable. Because let's say the students go home, they don't do the activities, they come back to school, and you're like, where's your work? It's like, oh, sorry, teacher, I didn't do it. What you can do is you need to keep them accountable. The punishments that you can do is you're going to say, listen, if you don't do this, maybe, they miss 2 minutes of break, or they have to come and talk to you after class. And so those are eccentric, and you can also talk to their parents. But I think the main thing is just make it clear and give them a good motivation and start preparing them to do it at home. And explain to them exactly why it's important. If they know why this is important, why you want them to do it, then they'll be more likely to do it too. Yeah, so keep them accountable. Yeah, I think that's it. It's still very tough. I know exactly what you mean, getting people to do things. Okay, now, Nazar, you were saying, do you have any idea about what is meant by surface and deep structure of a problem, and how to design a lesson based on that? Actually, my brain's starting to work. Is that okay, by the way, Ahmed, that answer? I feel it's something that I should talk a little bit more about. But yeah, I'm going to stop it there. I hope that helped. Nazar, so you're saying, do I have any idea about surface and deep structure of a problem and how to design it? And then my dad answered, surface learning is very much about the idea, the content, the knowledge, and the information. Deep learning is when you relate or extend or transfer that knowledge now to make a lesson. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, a good answer, Dad. So, okay, so you've got a problem. Okay, let's think of a problem that we can have, and then we'll apply my dad's idea to it. Let's say we've got a school and there's a problem with with littering. Kids are throwing rubbish around. Surface and deep structure of a problem and how to do it. So the surface would just be, okay, so the surface problem is there's litter everywhere. What's the deeper problem? Oh man, I can't think. How to design a lesson based on that. Naza, I'm going to have to think about this a little bit and I'll do some research. If any of you can add some comments and add to that. I was about to say something. I thought something was going to click in my head and then it just went away. But I'll think about it and I'll leave you an answer later. Perhaps next week I'll bring it up. Actually, guys, it's time for our review because I'm going to ask my friend. Another professor. He just came back today. I might go and have a beer with him now. Let's quickly review. So I quickly talked about Samara's problem, how to get a class's attention. I said be the center of attention, be the authority figure, and we talked about some techniques to get attention. You should start training students to give you their attention. Number two, we talked about Rabia's problem, creating a curriculum. There was so much I actually wanted to say about this. You can see I wrote down a lot. Okay. And basically what I said is make sure to make it easy for yourself. Don't make it too complicated. Focus on blocking off the lessons to have a warm-up, a place where you teach, an activity. Remember to make it interactive, either groups or having dialogues with a partner. Make it, yeah, do it about interesting content that they'll enjoy. Then we also talked about Ahmed's problem very quickly, how to get students to do homework. And I said, well, you've got to motivate them somehow. You've got to tell them that it's important because of these reasons. And you've also got to, help them be clear on how to do the homework. And then Nazar gave me this super question that was, do you have any idea about surface and deep structure of a problem and how to design a lesson on that? I just got a blank and I couldn't think at all. My dad gave a good answer there, but I'll work on it in the future. Okay, guys, thank you so much. If you want to add one final message, put it in there. Thank you so much for joining as always. I released a video today. I'll probably release the next video next Wednesday, but we'll have another live session on Sunday. Yeah, everyone, thank you so much. If you have any questions for next week on Wednesday, maybe I will put out on the community page. I will ask you for any questions, and I'm going to focus on Nazar's question. I will. I'm at exactly 1 week later. So every week, Sunday at this time, well, 1 hour ago, I'll do it. Julie, hi. Haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing? It is. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while, right? You've been here before, Julie, but I haven't seen you. Yeah. Everyone, thank you so much. If you have any questions, put it in the comment page for later. I'll see you guys. Roya, how do I start the class? I've done some videos on it. Look at my channel on how to start the class. Roya, I think it'll help a lot. Guys, yeah, Roya, just look in my videos. I've done a lot of things on how to start class. I can talk about it, but I have to go and drink a beer. Okay, everyone, have a good day, and I'll see you next time.